Discuss about the North American Mastiff, a breed that has been developed to make a dog that doesn't have too much drive, but still has the capabilities of a working dog. That's the slogan. They say they have used 7 different breeds. If you would ask me which breed they would have used, I think they used a plethora of Mastiffs. But they did not stop there. They also use band dogs. So modern band dogs like the Cane Corso, but also XL bullies, in my opinion, have been heavily used and even might consist of the main attributes. I think they could have made the breed with 2 or 3 dogs, even if they wanted the American Bully, Cane Corso, and for example, misschien een Napolitano or other ways. Hey. But also Boerboel might be added because they have extremely heavy bone, which you often see in Boerboels. The thing I have against it is that if you use so many dog breeds, the benefit of heterosis is oftentimes a little bit less, because the genes are not that different anymore, as you have from the first generation cross of 2 different type of breeds. And other things that are to be considered is that the dogs they have used are not the working type. Also, if you see those breeders, all those dogs that they have, almost all, and I don't want to exaggerate, are very heavy. And not heavy only in bone, but also they're not only heavy in bone, which also can have some benefits, but also they are quite fat, and that will not add any working capacities at all. Will just slow the dog down. That might be what they are attempting for, to make them more gullible and less demanding. But it also really disproves the dog's behavior, putting unnecessary stress on the joints and crippling the working ability to a high degree. If they say they have a working ability just walking, and even walking they don't do graciously or athletically, most of them at least. So that's something I don't like that much. I think if you would have a first generation band dog, it would do better. And that's without using 7 dog breeds. Another thing to consider is that if you use dogs of working capacity, you will have a lot stronger and more capable dog than I see there. So what's the working capacity here? Is to handle big prey like the hogs, swine, perhaps puma. Then you have, for example, Dogo Argentino that you could look into. But that's not the case. It's a protection dog. Then you have a dog like a Boerboel to take its own premises, or Presa Canario, which can also be one of the breeds used. And if you want a big dog, there are also a lot bigger dogs like Great Dane that also might have been used. It's more of a potpourri, and also if you have so many different dogs, it will be hard to get all those beneficial attributes out. Another thing to consider is that how will you, for example, breed for attributes such as gameness if you have so many different dogs? Not the amount of different dogs, but the amount of different dog breeds. So it will be very hard. It's more of a potpourri of Mastiff dogs, but heavy leaning to the American Bully side, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but there are quite a lot of working bred types of Mastiffs that, in my opinion, are far superior. And that does not mean that it cannot be a nice dog. The benefits of all those crossbreeding are often found in the case that you still have a massive type of dog that is quite relaxed, because you don't get all those fighting capacities bred in, because you have so many different dogs. It will be hard to contain all those beneficial, unnatural tendencies. So to protect, even though it will cost its own life. And the other thing is, you will have a dog that's a lot more genetically diverse, and oftentimes have less problems with health issues. They will say you this. This is a dog to tell you. But the drawback is, of course, that you might know which genes or attributes are contributing to problems with hip dysplasia, and for example English Mastiff. But those could be a little bit different in the Boer Bull. Boer Bull is a lot healthier breed, but still also Boer Bulls suffer from hip dysplasia. And those attributes can also be a little bit different in Mastino Napolitano, which also suffers from hip dysplasia. So in other words, it might be that in the first generations you will see healthier dogs, but in the long run you might be setting you up for multiple weaknesses in the hip dysplasia. And add to that not only heavy bone, but an extremely heavy build, with all that fat. And in my opinion, you're setting yourself up for disaster. It might not be in the first 10 generations, but after that, if you line breed again, or inbreed even, this will be detrimental. And with detrimental effects come long-term difficulties. So then you have a multifactorial hip dysplasia problem in your hands, instead of just a few facets to take into consideration. You should take into consideration everything now. So that's something to take into consideration if you think this approach is suiting. They will also tell you it's a little bit like the wild dog or stray dog approach, only the strongest will breed, but this is not the case. They just breed what they had or could get their hands on, and has a little bit of mastiff type of looks, including American Bully. And that's different in my opinion. It does not make them the best, they just make them accessible. The dogs that you see here depicted, Patterdale Terriers, a female to the left and a male on the right. Female is restoring her physique, because she's giving milk to pups. It's draining their muscle mass, of course. But still, this dog is a lot more healthy and functional than all these fat dogs. And the male, a little bit overfed, of course, because he gets also some extra treats, because the female gets a lot of extra feed. But that dog is looking so much more functional. It is also, see how supple it walks and the drive it has. Also the female is so much better, in my humble opinion. So if you would make a North American Mastiff, if you only stick to 2 or 3 breeds, 2 main breeds, and want to stabilize it, as they also, for example, did in the past, they bred a specific type of bandog, also North American bandog, or American bandog, that was the name, and they just used Pitbull and Mastino Napolitano, and they balanced it with a touch of American Bulldog, and that was it. It's a better way to approach it, in my opinion. Have a great day. Dog Walker out.